Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm by the name Sochaki Douglas, uh, taking you through the understanding of plagiarism. I know those who have been following me on my YouTube channel, my content is really helping you a lot out there. I'll always encourage you to follow me on my YouTube channel for more tutorials on information literacy. So today basically we are looking at the understanding of plagiarism. Under this topic, we shall look at the definition of plagiarism, we look at the types of plagiarism, the consequences, and the prevention strategies. So now, if we go straight to the definition of plagiarism, it is just the act of using someone else's work, ideas, or words without giving proper credit, presenting them as your own. This, in many cases, involves copying someone's ideas, like also when you're given coursework for students without citing them. So that's basically the definition of plagiarism. Now, we shall also look at the types of plagiarism and their definitions. Under the types of plagiarism, we have the direct or verbatim plagiarism, we have mosaic plagiarism, we have accidental plagiarism, paraphrasing, source-based, and then complete plagiarism. So we shall look at each and every one of them with their definition. Now, when we talk of direct plagiarism, it's just the act of copying someone else's word, text by text, without giving proper credit for it, like quoting or citing the work. And this is the most blatant form of plagiarism. You just copy someone's work directly as it is, as your own, without citing and quoting. So that's what we mean by the direct or verbatim plagiarism. Now, what if when we talk of the mosaic or patchwork plagiarism? This one is all about reusing someone else's work, more so by stitching, like you get some word from another source, in different sources, then you weave them together or stitch as one, presenting it as your own, but without quoting. You don't quote the sources of the words where you have gotten them from. So that's what we call the mosaic plagiarism. Now, what about the accidental plagiarism? Here we talk of unintentionally failing to quote or cite sources of your work. So after carrying out some research, you forget. It is not intentional. You just forget, or you misquote, or improperly paraphrasing. So this is all about, just from the word accidental, it is something unintentional. So that's what we mean by the accidental type of plagiarism. Now, what about when we talk of paraphrasing? So paraphrasing is all about rephrasing. Just from the word paraphrasing, it is rephrasing or reusing someone else's idea or work, but without quoting or citing, like the language or everything, the work, they are all the same, but you don't, in this case, quote or cite the work. That's what is paraphrasing. And then we have the source-based plagiarism. With source-based plagiarism, you cite a source which doesn't exist, like using someone's work, but you are citing with a different scholar. So it doesn't really make sense, and in most cases it brings in a lot of contradictions. Also at the university, we shall even look at the consequences of plagiarism and then how we can prevent them. Lastly, we shall talk of the complete plagiarism. This is whereby you submit an entire paper, data, or creative work written by someone else. Like you can buy an essay online or turning a classmate's work as your own, commonly with students. So that's the meaning of complete plagiarism. And then there is one type which I forgot to include, but it's also very common. We have what we call the self-plagiarism. This is whereby you reuse your work for another work, like a coursework submitted. You find the same coursework, a question which is similar appearing, so you tend to reuse it without the instruction of your supervisor or the instructor. That's also another common type of plagiarism. Now, let us go to the next part under this tutorial. Look at the consequences and how it can affect. So like if you have in academics, the consequences and the penalties for plagiarism, it leads to academic probation or suspension. It can also lead to expulsion in case of severe case, and it causes permanent mark on your academic record on transcript, and the most crucial one, can lead to revocation of your degree if discovered after graduation. We also have professional consequence, which results to loss of credibility and damaged reputation among peers. So we talk about immediate termination from your job in case realized, and then we have legal action which are taken by the copyrights. We also have legal consequence, which causes or results into the criminal charges, and we have copyright infringements penalties. Now let's look at how we can prevent this, the preventive strategies. Now, we can control plagiarism by citing and attribution. This is all about citing the correct work, and also every source you quote, you must paraphrase or draw idea from. Use quotation marks for any directly copied phrase. Cite yourself if using your own previously used work. This is to avoid self-plagiarism. And we have good research and writing habit. More so when you're carrying out research, start early. Make sure that you prepare before starting your research to avoid the type of plagiarism which is accidental. And then you also have to take clear notes, distinguishing between your thoughts, paraphrased ideas, and verbatim quotes from the start of real research up to the last. You have to be very keen enough to distinguish between all those. Now track sources as you go by saving the URLs, DOIs, this is the document identifiers. Talk about the page numbers, a publication dates in a working bibliography. So these are the basic ways we can prevent plagiarism. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for always following me on my YouTube channel. I will be bringing you more tutorials on information literacy, but don't always forget to like my videos, share, comment, and subscribe for more tutorials on information literacy. Thanks for your time, dear audience.